Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. Time right now is 7:52. The guys are back in town again. Of course, here it is. Bob McAlister, Republican strategist. Antjuan Seawright, Democratic strategist.
Hello, Brendan.
Hey, what's going on? Our political roundtable. So obviously, tomorrow is the big day. Well, actually tonight. Excuse me. Tonight is the big day, final debate. But before we get to that, Bob and Antjuan, one major topic that a lot of people are looking at right now, we know Donald Trump has been talking about a rigged election. Let's focus on the integrity of that election. Bob, we'll start off with you. Why is this a really bad eye to the American people here when we talk about the elections being rigged?
Well, history proves that in some cases it is rigged. Chicago, for an example, history has shown that Kennedy won the race in '60 over Nixon because of fraud going on in some of the Chicago precincts. It was that close. Overall, the election is not rigged. Overall, the election is fine. There are pockets where people take advantage, but America is composed of human beings, and we human beings are imperfect, some of us more than others. So from an overall standpoint, the election is not rigged. Rigged elections only matter in very tight races. It's going to be a blowout against Trump. So he could have the thing rigged and he'd still lose.
You know, Antjuan, do you think, well, some people are saying this, that the reason why Trump is saying that it's rigged because he's getting ready, that if he loses, then therefore he'll blame it on the system and not the voters.
Well, here's the thing about Trump and his comments about rigged elections. And I don't want Bob to think I'm going down the road of racial baiting, reverse racism, because I'm not. But in the context he has used this word of rigged, he's talking about inner cities. Kind of interchangeable with his comments about inner cities in other instances. What we know is only been 31 cases of voter fraud in elections since 2000. He's talking about dead people voting in inner cities. That's been not true. It's been fact-checked, Democrats and Republicans. When you talk about the integrity of an election, that is just really to downplay turnout, right? To try to calm down turnout because Trump knows he's going to lose. And I think it's wrong. Look, elections in this country are put on by Democrats, Republicans, and independents all over this country. It's not something that one group of people sits in the tower and says, look, let's rig this election, let's do that. That doesn't happen. So I would just encourage anybody, because if you say something so many times, people will start to believe it. I will encourage anybody to exercise your right to vote in this election. It's not rigged. The media has not rigged the election. They didn't rig the election when he ran through the primary against 16 other people. I think it's wrong for him to say that, and I'm glad that Democrats and Republicans are denouncing it.
You know, Bob, to piggyback off what he's saying, many people are saying that the media is rigging this and the media is helping to make sure that Hillary Clinton gets into office.
Well, that's true, but that's not rigging the election. The media, the mainstream media, for decades have been on the side of liberal Democrats. I mean, that's an historical fact. We know, for an example, that reporters from the New York Times, Washington Post, and other news organizations have contributed heavily to Clinton's campaign. A very small percentage of those who have contributed have gone to Trump. The media are in for Hillary, but that's been the case for a long time.
What do you say to that?
Well, I think Bob it's too early in the morning for Bob because obviously he's still asleep. Look, if that was the case, Trump would have never made it through the primary. I'll give you the best example. When President Bush 41, came to Charleston, South Carolina, to endorse his son, he was on the stage getting ready to endorse his son. The media that Trump called so bad, and now Bob is on that train, went from Bush 41, a former president endorsing his son, to Donald Trump getting off a plane in Columbia, South Carolina. So the media wasn't rigged then. It wasn't rigged when 41 won. It wasn't rigged when Bush 43 won.
I did not say the media has rigged it. The media cannot rig the election. The election, there are election laws. And the stupidest thing that Trump has said so far is this idea of rigged election, because what he's doing, he's dampening his own turnout. His own turnout is not going to turn out.
But the media is not pro-Trump. The media is not anti-Hillary and pro-Trump. He's got more media coverage than anybody without spending the most money.
No, the media, you're right, the media is not anti-Hillary and pro-Trump.
Stay with us, folks.
It's the reverse.
We're back after headlines. We're back with these guys. Stay with us. Welcome back to Good Day Columbia, our political roundtable, the final segment. The boys are back in town again. Antjuan Seawright, Democratic strategist, and we have Republican strategist Bob McAlister. Guys, we're going to get straight to it tonight. is the big night, final election debate, we could say, before the election. We'll start it off with you, Antjuan, since we started off with Bob last time. What do the candidates need to do tonight? We'll start off with your candidate, Hillary.
I think Secretary Clinton should do what she's been doing the past 2 debates, and that's be herself. I think she should make her final plea to the American people and show the difference between a Clinton candidacy and a Trump candidacy. I think she should really hone in on immigration tonight. They're in Nevada. That's a swing state. The polls are neck and neck there. I think she has to really lay out her plan to deal with immigration in a bipartisan way, because I think this country wants to get back to the center, and I think she should just talk about issues. I don't think she should get caught up in the back and forth with Trump, because he's going to attack her. I think she should, when he goes low, she should go high.
Bob, what do you think about Trump? What should he do at this point?
Oh, I don't know what he should do. For Hillary's standpoint, she's got to do 3 things. Show up, not go to sleep, and don't trip over the steps. If she manages to do those things, she wins. Trump, I would hope, would decide that he will go out on the high side, that he will talk about issues. He got to where he is because the American people agree with him on the issues, the economy, immigration, what to do with our national security. But he's gotten off on these side issues that have been a mockery. You know, to me, it's ironic the debate's going to be in Las Vegas, because that's where everybody loses. Well, the American people have put 2 losers in positions, one of whom is going to be president. The American people rolled the dice, they lost, and regardless of who wins, it's going to be Hillary. The American people lose. And it's nobody's fault but the American people.
I don't think the American people lost. I think the American people will be proud that we will have the first woman president of the United States less than 100 years after women have received the right to vote. And I think there are a lot of people like me who will be very proud, and some Republicans, that we have the most qualified person to ever run for that office that will serve as the next president of the United States.
It does a disservice to women to have probably the most corrupt politician ever to run for president and win.
And what do you say about that? You know, there are many people who are looking at Hillary Clinton and saying she silenced women before, the accusers of her husband.
What do you
say?
Friendly Bob, those are the same people who've been attacking Hillary Clinton since her days in Arkansas. Most people who have, you know, some wherewithal of the political process, they know not to get distracted by these things that happen to come up. Look, Secretary Clinton is one of the most profound women on this side of heaven. Look, right, and she has dedicated her life to public service. Everybody knows that. Everybody understands that. That's why she will be the next president.
Every
of the United
money, every dime Hillary Clinton's ever made has been off the taxpayers' back. She's been sucking at that one for 30 years, and she'll continue to do it when she's in office.
That's not true.
And you know, speaking about that really quick, we have about a minute left. WikiLeaks have been released. Of course, more emails from Hillary Clinton's chairman are coming forward.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Should we expect things from the Trump camp?
Wait, listen. Trump's his own worst enemy. Because of the stupid things he says and how he says them, the media are ignoring the WikiLeaks. Listen, the State Department's attempt to bribe the FBI and to declassifying emails to make Clinton look better, the Clinton campaign's disdain for Catholics, making fun of them, the collusion between the prominent news organizations and the Clinton campaign, those WikiLeaks would disqualify any candidate, including her, if Donald Trump were not on the ticket.
First of all, we should not give credit to WikiLeaks, right? That's why, thankfully, Senator Rubio is the only one with common sense in the Republican Party. Like, look, he's not even entertaining this idea of WikiLeaks. This was a hack by the Russian government. We know from documents that have been released, some of them have already been altered to say what the Trump campaign and his Russian buddies want them to say. Look, this is an assault on to really get into our election process in this country. It's wrong, and we should not give credit to it. Bob McAlister. You are wrong for giving credit to Russians for hacking into our emails, because when it happened to the Republicans, I don't want to hear you crying on this show about no.
We got to go off the air. He always gets cranky when he has to go to the bathroom in the morning. So it's right that way. We'll see you later.
We'll be right. So folks, still there's more Good Day Columbia coming up after the break. And don't forget, tonight, the final presidential debate. Make sure you watch it. It starts at 6 o'clock tonight. Stay with us.